Okay, so welcome everyone to the new LaVilla Commercial Real Estate Crowdfunding Campaign Information Session. We're here today to talk with Davonne Reaves, who is the founder of the crowdfunding platform Vesterr, and to also give you an introduction to the case for the new LaVilla, why invest, why it's so important to reinvest in our historic commercial districts, and why commercial real estate crowdfunding is the best platform to do that, to take community ownership in our spaces. Oops. I'm waiting for my slides to move. So we are going to have a discussion, starting with introductions, the case for the new LaVilla, the who, what, where, and why, who is involved, team members, and then this process of opening a commercial real estate crowdfunding campaign, the when and how much. And then we'll go into the vision behind Vesterr with Davonne, and we'll make the case for why community reinvestment crowdfunding matters and why this is a passion project for her as a multi-hotel owner. So I'm Dr. V. I have been in business for more than 10 years with the Center for Confidence, but more than 20 years I've been working with Fortune 500 companies as well as small businesses as a business strategist focusing on operations management. My doctor's in crisis management. So during COVID, that was a very good year for us to help businesses to pivot and to emerge out of crisis in a thriving and newly renewed capacity to do business. I'm a current business advisor for Goldman Sachs and NYU Stern. I am a certified business technical assistance provider with the state of Florida. I help people with disabilities who are interested in entrepreneurship to start their own businesses. My work primarily has been with CDFIs in recent years, working to help small businesses to get into the Fortune 500 supplier pipeline, primarily in the healthcare industry. I used to work for the federal government, so I'm glad, I used to work for the federal government. We'll leave it at that. With the Department of Defense, I am a military spouse. My husband's retired Air Force, and I am an author of a book for women in leadership called Diva Decisions. And I thank you all so much for being here today. I'll turn it over to Davonne to introduce herself.
Here we go. Can you see me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see?
Yes, I can see Yay! And hear you.
You can see and hear me. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Davonne Reaves. I'm the CEO and founder of Vesterr. And thank you, Dr. V, for having me. And we're gonna have some fun tonight. Okay. So it's an intimate setting tonight, and we're gonna have a good time. All right. So for the folks who are tuning in live, let us know where you're coming in from. And even if you're not tuning in live and you're catching the replay, let us know where you're coming in from, because I'm just always curious to see where people are coming from. All right, so we got Callie in the house. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I know Dr. V, she's in Jacksonville, Florida right now. And okay, Duval. So we got a couple folks Duval. It just makes sense, right? And so tonight we're going to be talking about Dr. V's project in Jacksonville and how she's using Vesterr to help with the crowdfunding, so that way you all can invest in this project. So I'll pass it back over to you.
Awesome. Did you want to say anything about yourself, Davonne?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Okay. It's your show. I'm just here, right?
So starting with proud mom.
Proud mom. Yes, I'm definitely a proud mom. I have a 6-year-old son, Jameer. Wow. He's in the first grade, and I launched Vesterr in 2022. We had our first deal in 2023. Oh, for the folks who are tuning in, we're glad that you're here. But if you could go on mute, that would be great. Thank you. All right. And so I'm also a member of the International Society of Hospitality Consultants. I was actually the first Black woman to receive the Emerging Leader Award. Yes, I've been a consultant to over 60 hotel owners and investors. Now it's fast forward to close to 200 now with our most recent raise. Co-host of Next Gen Lodging podcast. We're part of CoStar and the Stay Black Experience. We're a directory of Black-owned hotels. I got my start off as a front desk agent at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta, and I navigated my way into hotel ownership. Just really changing my circles and how I was able to raise capital for my first deal. Essentially, it wasn't through crowdfunding, but it was through crowdfunding because it was just a pool of folks putting their funds together. And that's why I came up with Vesterr, because I wanted to make it more accessible for people like Dr. V and for people like you all who would want to invest in commercial real estate, but they don't know where to go.
Yeah. Thank you, Davonne. And if anybody has a question or at any point through the presentation, please just pause us for a moment and ask your question. Would anyone like to introduce themselves and any top of mind questions or why you're here? And we can definitely think about that as we're going through the presentation. Okay, don't be shy. I will pause here and there, and we'll make sure that everybody has their questions answered. I also have one-on-one sessions that I'll post my link for that before we jump off the call. If you have questions and you just want to have a quick one-on-one session with me on Wednesdays, please register for a one-on-one session. I'd love to talk to you more. This is about educating you about commercial real estate crowdfunding and the process to go through this stage of getting qualified through the Securities and Exchange Commission to have a viable fundraising campaign on a funding portal like Vesterr. So the project is the new LaVilla. The new LaVilla is a 1.2 upwards commercial real estate crowdfunding campaign on Vesterr. My goal is to renovate an existing building that is currently vacant. And it's in one of our historic downtown previously African-American owned commercial districts. The district currently is heavily, the target of new monies coming into that area. And so we have a great opportunity here to be part of the exciting new growth and the renovation and revitalization of this new district. Jacksonville, and Davonne told me, Dr. V, you need to tell people where Jacksonville is. Jacksonville is located in the north. It's the largest city by geographic area in Florida. It is located in the northeast corner, and it's the only city in the country that is connected to the north and south interstates, I-95, going from New England all the way down to Miami, and also east and west, I-10 from California all the way to the Atlantic coast in Florida. We are an ideal location for tourism, travel, but also international destinations. One of the unique things about Jacksonville also is that we are a Gullah Geechee cultural heritage corridor. We are called the Low Country. This is where the descendants of African slaves during the transatlantic slave trade, where many of them still maintain their original language and their original culture. Most of us here in Jacksonville are of Gullah Geechee descendant. I'm a Gullah Geechee descendant, and we are the largest city of Gullah Geechee descendants in the country. So when we start to hone in then and look at LaVilla, LaVilla was founded in 1866 by 35 former Black Union soldiers. This is a historic African-American neighborhood, as I was saying before, that grew to be known as the Harlem of the South and the home of the Colored Man's Railroad. So if you are aware of A. Philip Randolph and the Pullman Porters, this was the destination. The train station is still 4 blocks away from me. This was the home of most of the traffic that came through by rail in Jacksonville. James Weldon Johnson was born here. He was the principal of the old Stanton High School, which is still standing, although vacant. That is currently being renovated and reinvested in as well. He's also the author of Lift Every Voice and Sing. The Will Hotel, the location that we're renovating, 318 North Broad Street is on our main commercial court, our main commercial street coming into LaVilla. It was the home of the Will Hotel in 1913, founded by Fannie Harvey, a female proprietress. She had lodging units upstairs, and then downstairs were the commercial spaces. And when we renovate the new LaVilla, it's pretty much going to have that same footprint. We're going to have retail downstairs in the front, co-working in the back, meeting spaces upstairs, and then a two-bedroom, two-bath lodging unit in the back. When you're working on a commercial real estate, a crowdfunding campaign and having to go through the Securities and Exchange Commission, one of the things you have to think about is what are the market drivers? Why would someone want to invest in this space? And so the case for investing in the new LaVilla is that this is going to be Jacksonville's newest destination by 2028. So far, there has been almost $1 billion in investments coming into LaVilla, starting with our historic, our Duval County Courthouse, which stands on 3 acres and has 1.1 million visitors coming through that space monthly. LaVilla is located right across the street, so I'll show you the images. But we just completed the LaVilla Heritage Trail. Uptown LaVilla is an $80 million mixed-use project. The Regional Transportation Center at LaVilla co-branded itself as, with LaVilla in its name, has been completed for $57 million. We also have Lift Every Voice and Sing Park. So we're bringing back cultural tourism and heritage tourism back to LaVilla, and the timing couldn't be more relevant. We are also bringing back housing. So during the disinvestment in LaVilla, a lot of housing was torn down. Commercial spaces were torn down so that they could build a road through it. Now they're bringing back housing, and over $100 million has been spent in that. Additionally, the University of Florida recently announced that they are bringing their graduate campus to LaVilla, opening in the fall of 2026. In terms of population, Jacksonville is one of the Urban Land Institute's supernova cities, only one of 5. These cities are recognized for their rapid business and economic growth. Again, this corridor is growing rapidly. The job opportunities are there. Unemployment is 3.4%. We have no state income tax in Florida, and we are a great city for new business startups. Therefore, the demand for co-working spaces, which is what the new LaVilla is bringing back, we want to be that new hub of commercial activity in LaVilla, and the use of co-working spaces in these commercial districts is coming back and is in demand. When you look at Statista, the data shows that there is a demand for more than 300,000 square feet of co-working space usage to meet the needs of approximately 9,200 customers. And all of the mixed uses for co-working spaces, whether it's dedicated desks, whether it's virtual offices, is all part of the services that will be offered by LaVilla. Our unique value proposition is that we offer the residential live-work unit for tenants and the public, but also we see ourselves as targeting that co-working plus wellness niche, bringing in lactation rooms for moms, wellness rooms, and cultural activities that again resonate with the historic nature of the district. This is LaVilla, the building in LaVilla now. This is again Broad Street, which is the main access point to LaVilla. You'll see the Masonic Lodge is still standing there, and then further down the street, you'll see the old Richmond Hotel, which was also owned by an African-American female and also was listed in the Green Book. This will be a complete renovation. However, because we had the building historically landmarked, it's going to require that we maintain as much of the existing integrity as we can, which is keeping the unique brick facade, keeping the unique ceiling tiles, etc. This is the future rendering of LaVilla. The wall there where you see the leaves, we are discussing turning that into a tribute to the Buffalo Soldier founders. So there'll be more to come on that. This is a view from the intersection coming into LaVilla off of Broad Street, where you see the white walkway marks there. Those will be green, actually, because they'll be part of the LaVilla Heritage Trail, which will wrap around that building and come out on the Masonic Lodge side. And then in the front will be the 3-acre urban park. The theme for the 3-acre urban park, if you look at the lower left-hand side in the grassy area, which is in front of the courthouse, will be dedicated to themes around social justice and social causes. So we are in a great location. The opportunity is there for investment, and we would welcome everyone to get involved with this project and to start to have co-ownership in these forgotten spaces. This slide is just about proximity to other destination spots in the area. The biggest thing is Everbank Stadium is the furthest out. It's 1.5 miles. Everything else is within walking distance to and from LaVilla. So we are definitely centrally located to what's happening in the area. The project timelines, we are going through the permitting phase. We had to circle back around because of safety revisions that were needed. Our goal is to have all the permitting completed by the Q4 of this year, with groundbreaking starting no later than Q2 of 2026. A 12-month build out max would put us opening for operations in the fall of 2027. This rendering here is, part of, I like to show this because it just shows the work that goes into these projects, the back of the house, the design team work, the renderings from the architect here, is part of what our first initial drawings look like. The downstairs is on the left, the upstairs is on the right. The approximate square footage of all the usages are listed on the left. And then we had to go through compliance, and the team again stepped in, and we had to revamp this to include a private entrance for the residents. So it's just I just love showing these slides because so much work goes behind the scenes rather than just what you see. The business model and market information in terms of benefits to any investors is one of the things that we have to include in our packet to the Securities and Exchange Commission. So you always put in very conservative numbers because everything, again, is hypothetical. And we want to make sure that people understand the worst case scenario in terms of how what their risk involves. All of these slides are in the platform on Vesterr.com. So I'm going to turn it over to Davonne to talk about how to walk through the platform. These are some of the questions and feedback that we've received over time. The minimum investment on the platform is $10,000. It comes with investment perks that are listed on the founding membership benefits that are listed on the website at thenewlavilla.com. We also have Q&As that have been raised over the course of the past 8 weeks, and those questions have been answered on the Vesterr platform as well. And so just additional information that you may want is all here. We have to be very clear about the use of funds. And that is the presentation on the new LaVilla. Does anyone have any questions? I went through that fairly quickly because I want to give Davonne as much time as possible for her presentation. So I told her I'll take 20 minutes, then I'll give the rest to you. Awesome. Okay, so Davonne, I'm going to lower my, stop my share so you can pull up the Vesterr platform. Let's see here, stop screen share.
Oh yeah, so I can share it.
Okay.
Can I share my screen now? Okay, I can share it now. Okay.
Yes.
All righty. There we go. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I have everybody on mute, but Elisa says yes. Thank you, Elisa.
Use the chat. Okay. All right. I can't see myself. Okay, here we go. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, there we go. Woo. Okay, all right. So Dr. V did an excellent job explaining her deal on Vesterr. And so, like I said before, we're going to make this interactive. And for the folks who are even tuning in later on and you're going to catch the replay, still put in the chat or still put in the comment section, because I'm going to come back and check. Do you all know anything about crowdfunding? Has everyone ever heard of crowdfunding? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no.
We have yes, somewhat, and somewhat.
Okay, all right. So for the somewhat, I'll explain. All right. So crowdfunding, has everyone heard of GoFundMe?
Yes.
Okay, so GoFundMe is a type of crowdfunding, but it focuses on donation, right? So it's donation crowdfunding. Vesterr is equity crowdfunding. So it's essentially a pool of us coming together to invest. And we're regulated by the SEC and a member of FINRA. So FINRA stands for the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and the SEC stands for Securities Exchange Commission. So we're not just a website. We're a little bit more, not a little bit. The difference between us and GoFundMe pretty much isn't regulated because it's donation. But with Vesterr, we're regulated, meaning because you all are investing in securities, right? So I'm just going to walk you all through Vesterr for those who've never been or never heard of it. So you can do two things. You can either invest or you can raise capital. So today we're going to talk about investing for the purpose of Dr. V's project. There's a video to kind of show you how it works. You can sign up to get on our mailing list for news and updates. So you go click here to invest to see the deals that we have on the site. We have education. So any questions or terms you may not understand. We have our podcast that's on LinkedIn. We have our blog that's on LinkedIn as well. And we have events. So we actually have a webinar. Dr. V will be on a webinar tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So you all register. Just go to vesterr.com to register. And then we have an FAQ section for, so you can just have any questions about the site, and then our story. All right. So let's walk through current investment securities. So these are the current deals that we have on our site. Dr. V is listed under office. Oh, it was taking a minute. My internet. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is Dr. V. So it's listed under office. So you go to LaVilla. So both accredited and non-accredited investors can invest. For those who don't know what an accredited investor is, an accredited investor is someone who has a minimum net worth of $1 million, a minimum net worth of $1 million or more, excluding their primary residence, and or annual income of 200,000 or more. So that is what counts. That's what makes you an accredited investor. And another reason why I created Vesterr, because I wanted folks who are non-accredited investors to invest. Our competitors or counterparts or other places where you can invest in commercial real estate, typically you have to be an accredited investor. All right. So this is the Form C. Form C, it just outlines all the risks that's associated with investing in this. So you can click here. It's required by the SEC, is listed on the sec.gov, as I mentioned before. This is the pitch deck that Dr. V was just mentioning, that she was just talked about. And then we have a pitch video as well. Previous pitch where you can see, and these are the questions that she was talking about that people have been asking questions. And so she's been doing a great job at answering it. All right, so I'm going to go to show you all how to invest. I'm going to go through, this is the investor pitch and replay if you want to watch it. So if you want to click here to invest, after you do, and of course, you have to do your due diligence, right? So let me see. You have to do your due diligence, and we recommend that you work with the lawyer or you work with the CPA to go through the documents and everything, and just to make sure that the deal makes sense. All right, so you click here where it says click here to invest. And so what you'll do is if you don't have a profile, then you'll have to create one. So you go to join now. All right. And so you'll input your information right here, and it will, and you click all the, well, you read it, click all the boxes, and then you will receive an email with your authentication code, and that you will use that to actually sign in. So I'm going to get out of this site because this is the actual site. And so it asks for information. And so I'm going to go to the test site so we can actually go through it. Okay. All right. So this is just a test offering. So you all can see what it looks like. So far, do we have any questions? Because I know I just went fast.
No questions. This sounds really good. I didn't realize that you could be a non-accredited investor. That's really great. I did not know that.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, and I didn't even mention it, so that's one of the things I probably need to emphasize as well when I go over the deck. So thank you for mentioning that, Elisa.
Okay. All right. Click here to invest. So this is the dummy site or the development site, test site. So I'm going to put my information in. So wait, let me go back. So let me create an account. So join now. So I'm gonna create an account. Join now. Davonne at Vesterr.com. Oh wait, first name. I'm just so used to put my email. First name is Davonne. My last name is Reaves.
And while she's doing that, the securities, the Form C information for the Reg CF, when you click on that tab, it does take you straight to the Securities and Exchange Commission website, right, Davonne?
Yeah, it does. We can go back.
And all the documents are located there. So they are very clear about wanting you to get as much information as possible, because this is a risk when you're investing your money. There's no guarantee of a return. And so all of that information has to be on file with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
All right, so I just signed up with my fake account. And so this is what it'll look like. You'll sign up, and then you'll get, of course you want to read all this. Is just basically, disclosures, letting you know that, investments are liquid and speculative, and then pre-dispute. You can read this at your own time. Then you enter your information here, your full name. You can invest in as a business if you would like. I'm just doing it as an individual. You can also use your self-directed IRA. If you do that, let us know first, because if you use your self-directed IRA or retirement, that's money coming from your retirement account. Just let us know, or let Dr. V know, because what happens, they typically just send the money directly to our escrow account, and then we don't know. So just to make it cleaner, just give somebody a heads up. So how much you're willing to invest? I'm gonna give you, Dr. V, I'm gonna give you 20,000. That's what we're gonna give you. So that's equals.
That. Thank you.
So what equals on the fake website is gonna equal to 4 units. So you can use your ACH or wire transfer. You can't do a credit card unless it's 5,000. That's the max. So Dr. V's deal is 10,000. So we're just gonna do a click wire transfer and then click next. And so then you input your information again. So we have to collect this information. Again, this is not just a website. We have to make sure you're a real person. We have to make sure that, you're not a terrorist. So a lot of these different things, just giving you this information to let you know that, again, we're not a website. It's a lot of compliance that we have to go through. We did a background check on Dr. V. I had to undergo through a deep background check. And some of the things that we look for, or our third party looks for, is, did Dr. V committed any fraud or anything, or bank, and all of that. She didn't do. If she did, she wouldn't have been on the site. So again, we go through it, because our job at Vesterr is to protect the investors. Now, again, everything is risky, nothing is guaranteed. So we do recommend for you to do your due diligence. But at least with Vesterr, you know that there's been some type of check done, some background check and some type of checks and balances, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so we are required to go through a financial audit as well as a background check. And
It
we
wasn't
have to have
easy.
an,
It wasn't
no,
easy, was it, Dr. V?
no, it took, yeah, no, don't, yeah, don't
It
get me
took a
upset
long
again.
time.
So yeah, so everyone is very intentional around doing their due diligence. We work with an attorney who prepared the documents for the SEC for us. So every dot, every T has been checked and crossed off the list in order to even get to this point of having a live campaign. And the other thing is, Davonne, international investors, you only accept domestic investments, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. If they're part of a group that's domestic, that's fine, but individuals who are not based in Florida, I'm sorry, not based in the US, cannot invest. Okay, then you have to upload your identification.
Oh, it won't let me do it because it's a test site.
Okay,
But
yeah, no worries.
you upload. Let me see. Let me see if it let me do it. But this is the side where you no, let me do it. Yeah, because it's a test. But this is where you upload your let's see, say it's too yeah, because it's a test. But yeah, you will upload your so we have to take your ID, a copy of your ID again. That's just what we have to check because again, you're invested in securities. And all of this, we use North Capital as our third party agent, escrow agent. So the money doesn't touch my hand. It doesn't touch Dr. V's hand. It goes through a third party agent. So for whatever reason, the project doesn't go through, before it's released to Dr. V, then the money will come back to you, right? So for whatever reason, because the money is in a third party, it's in the escrow agent's hand. In order for Dr. V to get the funds for the project, I have to sign off on it. She has to sign off on it. North Capital, our escrow agent, has to. So it's a lot of steps before any of the money is released. And so with that process, so pretty much after you upload your information, then you would let the system know how much you would like to invest. And then from there, based off of how much you want to invest, and then you'll complete your investment. It'll ask you, your income level. So meaning if you're an accredited investor, because if you're not accredited investor, there is a limit to based off of how much you can invest. It's 5% of your net worth or 5% of your income, whichever is higher. But that's only for non-accredited investors. If you're an accredited investor, it doesn't matter. And so we'll give you a calculate. It'll let you know how much you can invest based off your investment level. I mean, based off your accreditation status or income or net worth. And then once you complete that, then you'll be able to, it'll say complete, congratulations. And then it'll give you the wiring instructions for you to wire the information over to North Capital.
Yes, and if you find that you are unable to invest based on your non-accredited income level, then let me know. We're working on another option in terms of working with you to participate in the raise.
Yeah, so contact Dr. V or send us a note to invest@vesterr.com. So this is what Dr. V was talking about. If you click on the Form C information, as you can see, where you can review, it outlines the risk. This was registered with the Form C. It's a prospectus pretty much about the deal, what's included. It talks about the subscription agreement. So all of this information you can review and you can educate yourself on the deal before you invest. This area down at the bottom is where you can ask questions, and Dr. V has been doing a really good job at responding. So we try to make the process as easy as possible for folks who want to invest. Essentially, Vesterr is a a marketplace for commercial real estate to invest. If you want to watch the pitch, she did a previous pitch. If you want to watch it, again, in addition to this one, because it may be some questions that you had, and she probably actually may have answered in this pitch already or in the questions below. But I'm sure if you have more questions, she'll be happy to answer them. So, any questions for me about Vesterr?
So Davonne, if we do not raise the full amount, or is there a maximum or a minimum? And if the minimum isn't raised, what happens to the funds?
So if the minimum, I'm just gonna pick on the first name I see, Elisa. So if the minimum has been raised or the deadline has been raised, then you will get you will get your money back. Because again, we're not holding it. North Capital is holding it, and that's a FINRA rule, or excuse me, a SEC rule.
And that's $250,000 is the minimum. And if that minimum isn't met, then we have to return. Either they tell us that they're returning the funds, but the funds come back to you.
Right. It is an option. It is an option to you can lower, because we would hate for people who really want to be interested in it, because I know some folks do ask, but it is an option. It's just that we have to get approval from the investors. But yes.
Yeah. I just want people to know that that if we don't, because I've had the question, well, what if you don't raise the funds? If we don't raise the funds, there's a next phase that we're going to go into to continue the raise. But that is an option for people who feel that the situations may have changed, so they want to rethink their investment. So I just want to be open and honest about that as well. But we are currently, our deadline to raise the 1.2 million is September 30th. And Davonne just had a very successful raise, $1 million plus raise that we rolled ours in and launched ours right off of the heels of hers. And so one of the great tips and pieces of advice that I received from her was that she had a closer on her team. So I am looking for a closer on my team right now as we speak, because we really raised the funds. We will raise the funds because this is not our first. We want this to be the model for how we collectively start to reinvest in and reclaim our assets and have ownership in our assets in our historic commercial corridors around the country. So I am talking to Tulsa, Boley, Oklahoma, Lexington, Kentucky, because once we finish this raise, we want this to be the model for other cities moving forward. And we'd love to have everyone on the call to invest.
We'll get you there.
Yeah, absolutely. To invest and to be a part of this new way that we start to raise funds as a community and reinvest in our forgotten spaces. Any questions for us? Thanks, Dr. White. Just said congratulations, Davonne.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, this was such an amazing thing for me, because when I was thinking about how we were going to raise the 1.2 million, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, am I going to have to do this? Put together some kind of platform. And I was so pleased that Davonne had already done her due diligence. She already had a vision. She already knows what the future is going to bring for all of us when we start to think about how we can start to have an investment, have securities, have equity in these spaces. And so pleased and happy that she is doing this. She's the only platform owned by a woman like her in the country. There's one more, I believe, in England. And if we all come together and rally around her and just really help her, because she built the platform, but she doesn't receive any funds. If we don't hit our targets, and if we don't invest in her platform by having successful raises, she doesn't get paid. And this platform has a tremendous cost. So we're all trying to support each other in this. And if anything, get the word out. That's why I'm having these weekly webinars, is just to help educate people, because the questions that keep coming at me are really around not understanding how this works. And that's why Davonne was so generous to come on today to just walk us through it, so that we can see the back end of it and how easy it is to navigate the system and how everything is safe and designed to protect you and your investment if you're interested in doing that. So I just want to
Thank you. I
just thank
appreciate it.
Davonne for that.
Thank you. Look, you're on brand. I'm on brand. I love it. All this Black girl magic. I'm here for it. So we got in the comments. It says, I heard you all saying you putting something together for investors. Oh yeah, contact Dr. V directly for the folks who may not be able to start at the 5,000. And Dr. V, I can't go into detail, but I don't know if you want to talk about how folks can use their retirement to invest. A lot of people don't realize that they can use their retirement to invest in commercial real estate.
Yeah, so we had a complete, like an infographic built out about that. So there's so many different ways that you can, people would say, well, I don't have the money. And so when you think about how people invest and how investing in future returns work, it's not money you have like cash on hand. It's money that you have already set aside in stocks, IRAs, other savings in the, is it a traditional bank? Not really true. Even if you have it in a traditional bank, hopefully, the returns are very low right now in traditional banks. So, but even if you have it there, there are 13 different ways I think that we listed where you can invest in commercial real estate. And the returns are typically longer. So you want to do your due diligence. They're not guaranteed. They are risky, but it's an opportunity to start to feel as if there's something tangible that's actually growing that you can be a part of. See here.
It says, how are you selecting the spaces that you will invest in? Are you talking about me? That's a me question or Dr. V question, Carmen?
For me, I'll answer it on my end. For me, it's looking at our historic commercial districts and starting to reclaim those forgotten spaces that, were disinvested or torn down, or they used to be our former main streets. And so the structures that are still there, how do we start to bring those back to life? So I'm partnering with, my priority is to partner with other co-working spaces in different cities. So just in Philadelphia, in Atlanta this weekend, but again, going to Boley, Oklahoma, that is one of the 13 historic freedmen cities, that were founded in the Midwest. So looking at where I can find partners. I'm a member of the Incremental Development Alliance. So also they have independent developers, because I'm an independent developer, and that's the other thing. I'm competing against all the deep pocket money. You see 150 million University of Florida projects. For me, it's how do we just start with one building, one space, build a model around it, and then look for other like-minded individuals who are interested in reclaiming forgotten spaces in their cities. There's so many. There's so many. Tulsa's not the only one. And so
right, it's not. It's not.
It is so not the only
So
one.
if I can, the thing is, if when you're investing our money in there, how do you know? I mean, some of these places are very run down, so or they might well be in areas, they're historical, but they might be in areas that it really needs to be renovated. The space needs to be renovated. It needs to be upgraded or fixed up. So
Yes.
how do we know that when you're investing that it's going to actually increase in value?
Yeah, you look at everything that's happening around it. So for example, in Jacksonville, there's almost $1 billion already invested in LaVilla specifically. So all around, including that courthouse that you see in the image on this side of me, what, 600, 800 million, anybody from Jacksonville, was the first investment in LaVilla. Now you have the Transportation Authority's $57 million investment, $100 million in housing, 80 million in mixed use. You can see that within 2 to 5 years, that city is going to look completely different because investment dollars are coming into that location. So that's how you track that and make sure it's on trend for growth. Jacksonville, again, overall is an Urban Land Institute supernova city. So we already know Jacksonville's already, pivoting to start to grow and thrive. They're targeting LaVilla because that's where most of the land is. And that's how it usually happens. So Lexington, same thing. Tulsa, not quite there yet, but it's coming.
So this is these are properties that are going to be commercial, or they're for commercial purposes. So does that mean that the idea is that we will get leases on it that's going to be able to increase the value, or how are we going to get a return on investment?
Yeah, so there's no guarantee that there will be a return on investment. So we have to say that as a disclaimer. For this project, it's equity ownership. So you will have shares in the property. So our raise is 1.2. Once we complete the build out, for illustration purposes only, there's no guarantee that there will be a turn, but our estimation is once the value of the new appraised value after the build out, whatever that amount is, the equity in that increase in value will be converted into shares. You will either get a choice to have your investment returned to you, or you can keep the investment in the property and just let it ride out. For the operations side of it, so our goal is to refinance. And then once we refinance, the operations will start within fall 2025. After 1 year of operation, offer investors the choice of receiving dividends from the operations side of it. So that'll be another phase that will come. So this is a 2-phase project. First, we want to get the new valuation and refinancing from that from early investors. Again, there's no guarantee that you'll get a return. There's a question in the Vesterr platform that answers that question specifically. We can only provide illustrations, no guarantees, but that question has been asked and it's in the Vesterr platform. For a $10,000 investor, hypothetically, for illustration purposes only, you'll receive, what's the return?
Let me pull it up.
About 1%, one share. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to remember now. 1 share ownership, or if we sell it, which we don't intend on selling it, it could be higher. So just make sure you read through those questions on the Vesterr platform, because those questions have been vetted and are posted in the correct language to help you to understand that these are all hypotheticals and illustrations of what potential returns could look like, but there is no guarantee.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. White. She's noticing my LaVilla. So we're getting LaVilla paraphernalia in. Again, we're having a tribute to the Buffalo Soldiers. So on the sleeve, I have the Buffalo Soldier patch. It says LaVilla 1866, the year that it was founded, Jacksonville. Then on the back is a picture of Buffalo Soldiers charging, and it says, "See you at the new LaVilla." So I'm getting my graphic designer to put a mock-up of what the t-shirts will look like, because we're going to offer those to investors as well. But thank you. T-shirts, and then those fans that are popular now, we're getting fans, and then we'll fold those in with.
Y'all gonna do where them
yeah,
fans?
She gave me some samples. They were
y'all gonna do that at the opening. Y'all gonna do that at the opening. Y'all gonna with the cowboy hats on.
We're going to do everything at the opening, not just that. The opening probably lasts for a month. So we're excited. The upstairs space is designed to be a meeting space to hold boutique weddings, because we are located across from the courthouse. Again, that's a driver. 1.1 million customers come in and out of that courthouse every single month. So the coffee shop downstairs, the gift shop downstairs, will cater to that. So of course we'll have the t-shirts and the paraphernalia for sale, but we're targeting boutique weddings in addition to the co-working space, launch parties, anniversary, business anniversary celebrations, etc. And then of course the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, for those of you that came on late, is in the rear. keeping the historic use of the property as the Will Hotel upstairs and the retail locations downstairs, keeping that footprint to keep it consistent with history. Any other questions? And we're excited. So I've been traveling also to build partnerships with other co-working spaces, because we want to have residual, not residual memberships, what's the word I'm looking for? Reciprocal
Community.
memberships.
Yeah. And then
Reciprocal memberships with
yeah.
other co-working spaces.
Yeah. I
And so
love
when
it.
our members travel, our members can have an equivalent space that they could just walk into and do business.
I love it.
Yeah. Any other questions? She should sell the t-shirts. Yes, we're gonna sell those t-shirts. That's why I'm waiting on the mock-up, so I can go ahead and put it on the site and sell those now. We're thinking of every way we can possibly pre-sell everything. The membership benefits, I am going to adjust those, because right now, if you go onto the newlavilla.com, the founding member benefits are totally separate from the crowdfunding campaign. You can become a founding member just by paying the $5,000 member benefits. But as I'm talking to other co-working spaces, that may be higher, because I included coaching, and not everyone needs coaching. So I may be tweaking those a bit. So those will be coming down a little bit as we close out the last 40 days of the raise. But that's completely separate. That'll continue to go, because those are founding membership benefits. So please look at those as well. And that may be another way that you can come in and invest. Well, not invest, but come in and be a part of the project, help us with the raise at a lower level.
I have a quick question. I know we're at time. What is the plan for the residential part? Are you thinking of short-term rental? I know you mentioned the boutiques, which is great, the boutique weddings. But what have you I'm sure you have thought that out in terms of the residential.
Our brides will have use of the space for their boutique weddings, but so it'll be short-term, very much be Airbnb style.
Gotcha.
And part of the cost that we built out. So we also have to build out a multi-year pro forma. So in the 3-year pro forma, that housing unit will have a property manager, a community manager managing the co-working space and all the other usages. But in the residential space, there'll be a property manager that's managing that space. Let's see. Any other questions? Thank you all so much for being here. Next week, we will not, because it's Labor Day, we will not meet on Monday. We'll meet on Wednesday. Our guest co-host is a former co-working space owner, Michelle Talbert, who's one of our Goldman Sachs business advisors as well. She's a faculty member at Xavier in New Orleans. And so that's going to be a conversation around the value and the growth in co-working spaces, and why this is so timely and significant now to invest.
I love it.
Right, we got 2 minutes. I think we are. Any other final questions before we? And thank you all for being here. Really appreciate your time. Please help us to spread the word. Tell 10 friends, and then ask them to tell 10 additional friends, and to go to the website and to review the recordings on the YouTube channel if you have any questions. But definitely to also register with Vesterr. Yes, Davonne.
Link in the chat. Here, if you all need the link, let me put the link in the chat to make it a little bit more easier for you all.
Oh, and the one-on-one sessions with me. So if anyone is interested in asking specific questions, I hold one-on-one sessions on Wednesdays. There are a few slots still open for my Wednesday sessions. Okay, so again, this is about education. Don't worry if you feel like, no, I'm not ready to invest or what have you. I'm just happy to educate you about the project so that we can make this conversation comfortable with people, this conversation around commercial real estate crowdfunding and using the Vesterr platform.
All right. Thank you all.
Okay,
You all have a great
awesome.
night. Thank you, Dr. V, for having me. I appreciate it. It was a
You're
pleasure.
welcome.
Have
I'll
a
see you
good night.
tomorrow. Oh, you want to put a plug in for tomorrow, Davonne?
Oh,
Tomorrow?
yeah, of course. So tomorrow we're having a conversation, Dr. V and I. Of course, I talked about it earlier. Here, you can go. We're talking about the blueprint of Black wealth in honor of Black History Month. Here is the link for you all to register. We're having a webinar tomorrow, and Dr. V will be our co-host. So looking forward to it.
And it's Women's Equality Day.
There we go. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.